This morning, President Obama announced a plan to reduce the nation's deficit by $3 trillion within the next decade. He intends to accomplish this through tax increases, cuts to entitlement, and war savings. Half of the money will come from the tax increase, over a third will come from the American military pulling out of Afghanistan and Iraq, and about 1/5 will come from adjustments made to healthcare programs, including Medicare and Medicaid. President Obama's aides said that he will veto any bills that proposed reducing the deficit simply by cutting costs rather than by also raising taxes on the wealthy. The president intends for the tax increase to offset his $447 billion job-generating plan. Obama's proposal would need to be approved by lawmakers before it took effect. The amount of aid North Dakota residents can receive for flood relief is approaching $350 million. The Federal Emergency Management Agency said between state and federal assistance, the total amount of aid available right now is $336 million. Residents of Barnes, Benson, Burley, McHenry, Morton, Ramsey, Renville, Richland, and Ward are eligible to receive financial assistance. So far, 10,000 people have registered for it. As you may already know, housing is very difficult to find in the Dickinson area, and what little there is very pricey. This is due to the oil boom in the western part of the state attracting many out-of-state workers. To help with this situation, a housing company has requested a permit that would allow it to build a 600-room man camp to house oil workers. The facility would be equipped with bathrooms, a dining facility, a recreation room, and security. A man convicted of threatening George W. Bush in 2007 receives another trial. Daniel Cihanovic has already served his 19 months in prison for threatening the former president. Cihanovic made the threats while in prison serving time for another crime. He was convicted based on the testimony of his inmate Kyle White. The retrial will happen because U.S. District Judge Ralph Erickson threw out Cihanovic's conviction, claiming that a key piece of evidence should have been available to the defense. The evidence was a letter written by White to his cousin saying that he'd be willing to lie in court to avoid more prison time. Judge Erickson said, quote, "The court is absolutely convinced that had the prosecuting assistant U.S. attorney been aware of White's activities, he would have provided the information to the defense," end quote. An earthquake in India killed at least 40 people and injured many more. The quake was also felt in Tibet and Nepal, where several other deaths were reported. The magnitude 6.8 quake struck yesterday. The powerful quake resulted in a relatively low death count thanks to its remote location in the Himalayas. However, tens of thousands of homes and businesses were destroyed. It was difficult to get help to much of the affected areas due to mudslides covering the roads and the dust clouds inhibiting the use of helicopters. The total extent of the damage will remain unknown for some time, as many of the affected areas were inaccessible even before the earthquake. The Standing Rock Sioux tribe is holding a ceremony for a totem that will be part of an exhibit near the nation's capital. The 20-foot-tall healing totem was carved in Washington State and is on its way to Bethesda, Maryland, where it will become part of the centerpiece of the Native Voices, Native Peoples Concepts of Health and Illness exhibit. The ceremony was held at Sitting Bull College in Fort Yates. Well, the sun was finally shining today. Jessica Gulseth will tell us more. Jessica?
Thanks. This afternoon was mostly sunny with a high near 75 degrees. Tonight we will most likely see some showers and thunderstorms. There is a 60% chance of precipitation and a low of 50. Tuesday showers likely, mainly in the afternoon. It will be cloudy with a high near 56. And again, 60% chance of rain until nightfall, and then it will drop down to about 20%. Due to the rain, it will be mostly cloudy with a low around 45. Wednesday, we will get a break from the rain and see a high near 57 with a low around 35 come nightfall. Thursday will be sunny with a high near 65. Thursday mostly clear with a low around 44. Friday will kick off a warm weekend with a high near 75 degrees. Saturday will follow with a sunny 80 degrees.
Thanks, Jessica. In Jimmy Sports, both the men's and women's golf teams are in first place after Sunday's opening round of their home invitational. The Jamestown College overall score of 354 was achieved by efforts from senior Tracy Gustafson, who pulled in a 79, as well as freshman Kelsey Ross, who shot an 86, and Brianna Stein following close with an 87. In Jimmy's football, the injuries of several key players were likely contributors to the loss against the Dickinson State Blue Hawks Saturday afternoon. The Jimmies were without key players Josh Ewalt and Mitch Stokey. The Jimmies struck hard with a 6-0 lead in the first quarter. However, the momentum was not enough to bring them through. The final score was 30-6. I'm Kaleb Hruby on this day of September 19th, 2011. Join us next time when we will once again connect the campus with the community.